So welcome back to the Q&A with myself and Alice here.
Hi.
So this is part two. If you haven't watched part one, I would go back and watch that. But this is part two. We've probably got another 10-15 minutes of Q&As to tackle here.
Yeah.
So let's do it.
Like a bullet train.
So Adam McDonald, this is a good one. How was your libido when prepping? So I'll answer first, then you can say. It was pretty average, I'm not going to lie. I think when you get into those low body fat percentages, I'm not so much talking about just eating fats or not, but I think when you're below, say, 8% body fat, or it will vary for everyone, but you're just in those low figures, your hormones are just out of whack. I found for the last probably 3 months of prep, it's not that you're not into, I guess, this is a hard one, into each other, yes. But it's just you just prefer to hug rather than do other things, because
I think you're just prioritizing, like your body is just in a mode where it's thinking of other things, which is, you know, fair enough. And I think for sure the reverse diet meant that the libido came back slower the first time, and then the second time just going back to your normal macros was much better for the libido. So
so in terms of after the show, adding in food faster certainly does help in terms of getting you back to where you were prior to dieting.
Yeah, for sure.
But yes, I was affected. Do you want to?
So Sakib asks, what's the secret to maintain consistency in eating and lifting? And do you use an app or scientific pen and paper method to track your lifts? So first one, secret to maintain consistency in eating and lifting.
That's a tough one.
$1 million question.
Yeah, I don't really have an answer. I guess to maintain consistency, it's just I write everything down. So as you asked there, how do I track it? I write everything down in an Excel spreadsheet, and I have a certain. One of the keys would probably be to have a lot of flexibility in both your training and your diet. So obviously flexible dieting is going to allow you to be more consistent over the long run. So that's the dieting part of it. But with training, don't lock yourself into certain days of the week that you must train. So that's a big no-no. I don't tell my clients or anything to do that. So don't have legs on a Monday, say a push day on a Tuesday. Have a 5-day split and do it over, say, 7 or 8 days, and train when you feel like it. It's going to be much more. Firstly, your sessions will be better because you'll be motivated and you'll be excited to get in the gym. You're not just dragging yourself in there. And I think over the long run, it's not really a secret, but it should add up, and you should be getting in more sessions than you would if you're locked into certain days. But social events come up. You get sick, you miss sessions here and there, and it's all right to do that. So
and I think you're also kind to yourself when you need to be.
Yeah.
Like you said, you have to forgive, you know, the odd thing that happens outside of your control.
Yeah.
And also, just to add that Nick is probably one of the most dedicated people ever to anything that he sets his mind to, and it's probably not normal. So for me, I look at him and wonder, wow, I don't understand how he can be so consistent yet flexible in his eating and training. But I think that it's because he loves it, and you love doing it. It's not really a question for you.
What was the second part of that one?
And do you track your lifts using
so with the lifts, as I said, I use an Excel spreadsheet. There was, for quite a while, I'd use notes on my phone and enter it in as I trained, like the Excel spreadsheet on my phone. Now what I do at the start of each week, I copy in my lifts for the week into an email, send it to myself, and then just copy that into notes in my actual iPhone. And then as I'm training, I just enter it in. Sometimes when I'm training, I'll put my phone on airplane mode if I think I'll be getting calls or I don't want to be too distracted. But for the most part, I'm pretty old school. I just type it in as I go. Maybe that's new school, I'm not sure.
It works.
Yeah, it works, and it's a good way to do it. But yeah, big fan of tracking all your lifts, definitely.
Cool. That's it for Facebook.
That's it for Facebook. Okay, I've got a few more on Instagram. So from Evan Soon, aka Evan Godby, bodybuilding can be a fairly extreme lifestyle compared to a normal lifestyle. Has it been something that fits into your lives fairly smoothly, or has it been challenging?
I think because you started to be really serious about competing before you even moved in together, we've sort of grown into it, I guess. I haven't really thought of life before bodybuilding and life after, because training's always been important to me. And we've been together since we were teenagers. I
agree. I think it would be harder, it's a good question, it would be harder for a newer couple to get into a relationship if you didn't know any, like if you hadn't been with someone that was a bodybuilder or that competes in bodybuilding, it would be a bit more of a struggle.
Yeah, for sure.
But, I mean, just being open with each other.
Yeah.
And I know, Evan, you implement flexible dieting as well. That's always going to help. Yeah, just being open. And trying to train and get to the gym at times that will suit the other person can help as well. I know if I was going to the gym every night after dinner, that would be our time where we spend together. So it wouldn't be smart. So try and go in the day for me, or in the morning.
And it's good that you have that ability to do that. And to be honest, I don't even notice when Nick trains half of the time. We do train together on the weekends, and I come in and do a session with him once or twice a week during the week. But I wouldn't even know because you work it into the rest of your day. And we spend time together when we have time together.
Yeah. And I think one other thing that can help is for the person that is either competing, or if you're both not competitive physique athletes, so to speak, don't always talk about it. So I'm not always going to tell Alice how great my sessions were. I do every now and then, but I'm not gonna every day. I'm not gonna tell her that my pec was tight, or that my lower back was sore, or I don't think you need to make it your sole focus every day.
No, that's true.
Yeah. So, question from Lady B. How did you both get so cute? Please tell. We're not cute.
We're not that cute. This guy's cute. Look at him.
Yeah, this guy's cute.
He makes us cuter.
So from Ollie Clark, macros in the off season, thoughts. This one will vary. It depends on the person and how accountable they are to their weighing in, to what they eat. I would say, I'm just thinking with my athletes. So for myself, I don't track macros in the off season. I just track protein and a rough calories. So not exact macros. So not a breakdown of protein, carbs, and fats. And for most people, I would recommend that. But I do have a few people that work really well with macro ranges. So say you'll give them a protein target of, say, 180 to 200 grams, a carbs from, say, 250 to 300, and then fats, say, 60 to 70. And as long as they, every day, kind of fall between those ranges, then they've had a good day. But for the most part, just proteins are all you're going to need, because you want that flexibility. That's why it's called flexible dieting. You want to have that flexibility, and you don't always want to be constantly thinking about this. Save that for the times when you need it, when you are prepping or trying to do a little mini cut.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Good answer.
So from Zach, as a PT, as far as work goes, as we know, sometimes work can be fairly inconsistent in terms of client cancellations. How do you go about making sure there's consistent income? Do you think PT should have another source of income? So, as a personal trainer, I honestly believe you should never be turning away clients unless you're crazy busy and working weekends as well. I think if you just work Monday through Friday, you should always try and fit people in or move things around, because I find 1 in 10, I'd probably say 1 in 7 clients will cancel or want to move their session from that week to later in the week or to the next week. It's just the way people's lives are. So I honestly think you got to build, say you want to do 30 sessions a week and you run all your numbers and you can see you want to earn X amount, and 30 sessions will give you that number to pay all the bills, to save money, all that sort of stuff. Do 35 just so you know you're going to get those 5 cancellations, and then that'll cover your ass, so to speak, and you'll have enough money and not be stressed out. but another source of income is a personal choice.
Depends how busy you are.
Depends how busy you are.
Yeah. To make
and if you want to do something else as well.
Yeah.
Should I read that one?
Do you think that...
So this one's from Adam Neath.
Adam. Do you think that gaining more weight than necessary in the off-season has its benefits as a younger bodybuilder versus an older? Does your partner track her food? How do you guys do with that? Do you want to answer the first one?
I think when you're a young person, young guy, when you're young and you're gaining, I honestly believe that the first 3 to 5 years, sounds like a big range, maybe 4 to 5 years of your training, you should be in a calorie surplus. So you should be putting on weight. You shouldn't be worried about cutting. But say you start training at 18, until you're 23, don't even be concerned with what's underneath there. Just eat. I'm not saying get fat as a cow, but just eat a lot and train hard and get stronger, because you don't get those years back, and they're the years where you're really going to grow as well. So you'll see a lot of good examples of people kind of getting quite heavy and doing that, and I think that has its place and then after that, so as like someone like myself who's probably been training for about 11 years, I'd say, maybe even 12. You don't need to bulk up as much. I honestly believe you can stay within 15 to 20 pounds of your shredded stage weight and still make progress. Otherwise, you will find that your cutting periods where you need to lose the weight will just be so much longer, and you'll find it'll be so much harder as well. So a bit of both there, Adam. I reckon, yeah, it's good when you're younger. As you get older, and you'll see most older pro natural bodybuilders in their 30s and 40s, they always look relatively leanish. Yeah. Probably like 15% body fat, 13 to 15% body fat, and they still make progress and they feel good. Yeah. So last question.
Do I track my food? I have done in the past when cutting, I guess. And I feel like the rest of the time my diet's fairly consistent. So no, I don't track my food then. But I think because I tracked my food in the past, and also because I have a live-in macro calculator in Nick, I have a pretty good awareness of what my intake is, so that when I do want to lose weight, I can.
Yep, definitely.
Last one. So
last one from Maddie Trigg.
Maddie Trigg. Nick, strange, unrelated question. We just got a Frenchie. Good for you. And noticed you also have one. We do. They need puppy advice. They live in an apartment and just wanted to get some feedback on how those first few months were with the little fella. So little fella Louis is actually kind of a...
So Louis he's about 11 months now?
Yeah, he's about 11 months. So we brought him home when he was about 10 weeks old.
Yep.
And to be honest, he was a little bit of a handful in terms of the fact that he was a bit bitey and, I mean, extremely sweet and playful, but a little bit harder to control. And I think that's just a puppy. And everyone kept saying to us, he's just a puppy, you know, he'll calm down. And it's so true. I think at about the 9-month mark, Louis has just super chilled out so much, and he's just lovely to be around, and he'll just hang out with us and go to sleep now, whereas before he would always be on and wanting to play and nipping at us.
I think it's just the puppy phase. We did do puppy school, which was really good. So we did puppy school for 4 Saturdays in a row of about 2 hours, an hour and a half.
Yeah.
That really helped in terms of probably teaching us more than teaching Louis, teaching us how to how to train him, how to give him treats correctly. But in terms of toilet training, that was one of the hardest things. We just had puppy pads, which are like these big squares that dogs can wee on. So we had those. We tried to reward him whenever we could, and it's hard for us because we don't even have a balcony.
No.
So we have to literally hop in the lift, take Louis out, and
go outside
to go to the toilet.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think it's almost easier to toilet train a dog in an apartment because there's only certain times when you go outside.
Yeah.
And so Louis knows as soon as he walks outside onto the grass that it's time to go to the bathroom, and he's really good at that now. And we're lucky that we have Nick who works flexibly, so that Louis has someone at home every 4 hours usually to take him out for a little walk. he doesn't need too much exercise, so really he's ideal for this environment, and he's completely toilet trained, and he's a real dreamboat, and he's so good.
I think the key with that is just
stick with
routine.
it. Yeah.
Routine. Yeah. So final question, guys. Sorry, we got cut off there. So how did you guys meet? We got that. How did you get started in fitness? So I broke my arm. You can see a bit of a scar down here. I broke my arm 3 times, and they basically told me I needed to do some strengthening work in order to play rugby again. So I did a lot of weights, just a lot of arms and back, to be honest, and some push-ups. I think I was probably in year 10 at school, maybe year 9, year 10 at school. And from there, as I kept training by about year 12, so about 2 years later, I was really into lifting and trying to get stronger and bigger. And in terms of working in the fitness industry, my brother's a personal trainer, and I think I've always liked kind of training and that sort of stuff, and bettering not just my physique but helping others as well. So I did study sports business with dreams of managing athletes like the next Michael Jordan, that sort of stuff. But I ended up just falling into sales and then managing a couple of gyms, and then on the side of that I'd always do personal training. So I think that's just years have gone by, and now I'm just a full-time trainer and online coach. Yeah? Yeah. How is it surviving in the fitness industry financially? Thoughts? Anything?
It varies. Depends what you do.
Yeah.
I think as an industry it doesn't pay very well.
Yep.
But there are so many qualified PTs now, in Australia at least, that I can see why that is.
Yeah, there's thousands of personal trainers.
Yeah.
I think the hardest thing is finding your own,
your angle.
Yeah, your angle.
Yeah. Your brand.
Yeah. The biggest advice for any personal trainer I can give is don't be too by the book. People get bored if you just run them through the same things every week and try and keep them on a certain set program. So I know for most of my clients, I will run them through a bit of a different workout and show them some new things when they're with me, and when they're not with me, then they'll have their set workouts to do for the week. You want to keep it exciting, and it's all about personality. You can be really good with your marketing, really good with your organisation, but at the end of the day, what's going to keep people coming back is getting along with people.
I think so, and some PTs take the angle of making you feel bad to make a sale.
Yeah.
So like, oh, you know, you really need to see me because you look terrible. And that probably works on some people, but for the majority of the part, it actually turns people away. And I think Nick's friendly approach, and you know, that you're in it with your client, it's not just them. I think it's more of a team effort.
And
it's more fun.
There is money to be made in the fitness industry. You just got to find out what you're into, I guess. And
it's the wrong industry to go into if you're looking to make a lot of money. Let's be real.
Yeah, you'll have to work hard. Yeah. Really hard.
You're going to have to work bloody hard. And life is not about money. If you're doing what you like, then that is amazing. And that's the goal of life, not to be rich.
Real talk. So guys, thank you all for watching. That will conclude this Q&A. We split it up into 2 parts because we didn't want to make it too long. But we appreciate all the questions, and we will do plenty more of these in the future. But thanks for all the support. Peace out.
Peace.